In a quiet town where evil hides behind familiar faces, one woman faces a nightmare. And later becomes the nightmare for those who wronged her. Our film begins with Jennifer Hills, a young New York novelist who arrives in Louisiana to work on her new book in peace and quiet. She plans to spend the next few months alone in a small cabin, after receiving the keys from Earl, the owner of the place. Jennifer sets out on her trip, but she gets lost and stops at a gas station to refuel. The gas station worker, Johnny Stillman, gives her directions to a rental cabin. He tries to flirt with her, but ends up embarrassing himself. Jennifer then arrives at the cabin, which is far from town, and begins working on her manuscript. Soon after moving in, she hears strange noises coming from a nearby cottage while she's on the phone with a friend. She goes to check it out and finds nothing except dangerous chemicals and other hazardous items. Later, Jennifer returns to the cabin to wash her clothes, unaware that someone is secretly filming her. The next morning, she goes jogging through the woods on her way to work and comes across an old, abandoned cabin. When she comes back home, she discovers that the plumbing in her cottage is clogged. She calls the owner and asks him to send someone to fix the pipes. Later, Matthew Duncan, a shy plumber with a stutter, arrives at the cabin and fixes the problem. Jennifer is relieved and gives him a quick thank you kiss on the cheek. Excited, Matthew rushes off to tell his friends, Johnny, Andy Karansky, and Stanley Woods, about his visit. Stanley then admits that he was the one who recorded Jennifer at the gas station the night before. Johnny, whose ego is still bruised, decides that Jennifer is stuck up and needs to be taught a lesson. That night, Jennifer is working on her manuscript when she suddenly hears noises outside. Startled, she steps out to investigate but finds no one there. When she goes back inside, she is shocked to find the four men quietly standing in her cabin. Meanwhile, Stanley continues filming Jennifer, while Johnny and Andy mock her. Matthew refuses to join in, clearly uncomfortable. Jennifer pleads with them to leave her alone, but the men keep taunting her. Johnny threatens her with his gun, forcing her into fear. Jennifer manages to break free and sprints into the woods, where she encounters the sheriff, Storch, who is tracking Earl. She tells him everything that happened, desperate for help. Storch decides to accompany her back to the cabin. Once there, he finds some medications and alcohol and begins doubting her story. His behavior turns inappropriate as he forces her against the wall and touches her without consent. Suddenly, the four men storm into the cabin. Storch realizes they are all friends, and instead of helping Jennifer, he turns aggressive. They tear her clothes and pressure Matthew to harm her, pushing the situation into further danger. Although Matthew hesitates at first, he eventually gives in under pressure from the others. While the men are distracted, Stanley continues recording everything on his camera. Using the last of her strength, Jennifer breaks free and runs from the cabin, but the men quickly catch up to her and continue their attack. One by one, the others also take turns joining in, worsening the situation. Despite the brutality, Jennifer eventually manages to pull herself back up on her feet. Despite being in terrible danger, Jennifer makes her way toward a nearby river with the men following her. Just as Storch is about to shoot, she jumps into the river to escape. The men panic, realizing that if Jennifer reaches town, they could all be arrested. They begin searching for her everywhere, but she is nowhere to be found. Storch orders them to continue the search every day. Storch orders Andy to destroy all of Jennifer's belongings in the cabin to eliminate any evidence. He also destroys the tape recorder, fearing it could get them in trouble if found. The next day, Storch returns the cabin key to Earl and tells him that Jennifer has left. Life gradually returns to normal for the men, except for Matthew, who feels guilty about his actions and begins experiencing hallucinations. A month later, Earl calls Storch to report that someone from New York is looking for Jennifer. Storch tells him that he will handle contacting the person. The next morning, Stanley rushes to Andy and Johnny to tell them that his camera and a videotape of the attack have been stolen. Later that night, while Johnny is at home, someone knocks at his door. He notices a flip-flop outside and becomes alarmed when he opens the door. The next day, Storch discovers that a videotape has been sent to his wife. When no one can get the video to play, Storch drives straight to Johnny's house in anger. Everyone is terrified, as no one knows who is behind these actions. Johnny and Andy suspect that Matthew is feeling guilty over the assault, so Storch assigns Johnny, Stanley, and Andy to track him down at night. Meanwhile, Storch and Earl go hunting together. Later, when Earl is distracted, Stewart kills him to tie up loose ends. Tormented by guilt, Matthew returns to the cabin, where he unexpectedly encounters Jennifer, who is still alive. He tries to apologize, but she tells him it's not enough and then takes her own life. The next day, Andy and Stanley go looking for Matthew. Along the way, they become distracted and arrive at the abandoned cabin from earlier. Jennifer sets a trap for Stanley and incapacitates him. Seeking revenge for what they did to her, Jennifer ties Stanley to a tree and records the scene, mimicking the way he had filmed her. She leaves the camera running as part of her plan to intimidate them and make them pay for their actions. Andy is later attacked and incapacitated, while Jennifer returns to the gas station to confront Johnny. She takes him back to the abandoned cabin and captures him, in the same way that mirrors how he had hurt her. Jennifer then turns her attention to Storch's household, posing as a new student to his wife's class. When Storch speaks with the instructor, he realizes that she is none other than Jennifer. Back to confront those who wronged her, Storch rushes home to confront Jennifer, only to learn that she has taken Chastity to a local park. He searches for her but cannot find her, and when he returns to his car, Jennifer overpowers him. Jennifer confronts Storch about his past actions, reminding him that even though she was innocent, he had harmed her. She uses this moment to ensure he understands the consequences of his actions, especially in regard to his daughter. Jennifer sets a trap using a cord connected to Matthew, who is unconscious in front of Storch. When Matthew awakens, he accidentally triggers the mechanism, causing a chaotic chain of events that results in both men being fatally injured. Jennifer, sitting nearby, hears the commotion and smiles. Having finally enacted her plan and ensured justice is served, Jennifer took her revenge on her attackers with a force greater than they ever imagined. And that's how our movie ends. Leave us a comment to share your thoughts on the film, and we'll see you in the next video. We hope you enjoyed this recap and have a great day.